My daughter's teacher made her run laps with a broken ankle, and karma hit back hard. My daughter Emma is on the middle school track team. She's not the fastest kid, but she tries hard and never complains. Last month during practice, she was doing hurdles when she landed wrong on her left foot. I heard the crack from the bleachers. Emma went down screaming, clutching her ankle. It was clearly broken. The bone was sticking out at a weird angle. Coach Williams ran over and took one look. "It's probably just a sprain," she said. "Walk it off." Emma was crying, saying she couldn't move it. Coach Williams rolled her eyes. "I've been coaching for 15 years. I know a real injury from fake drama." She made Emma stand up. Emma tried to put weight on it and immediately collapsed. Coach Williams got angry. "Stop being such a baby. If you can't handle a little pain, you don't belong on this team." Then she did the unthinkable. She made Emma run laps around the track on a broken ankle. Emma was sobbing, limping, practically crawling around that track while Coach Williams yelled at her to go faster. "Pain is weakness leaving the body," she kept shouting. "Champions push through adversity." I was furious, but Emma begged me not to make a scene. She didn't want to get kicked off the team. So I helped her to the car and drove straight to the emergency room. X-rays showed a complete fracture. Emma needed surgery and would be in a cast for 8 weeks. The doctor was horrified when I told him what happened. "She ran on this?" he asked, looking at the X-ray. "This could have caused permanent damage to the growth plate." I called the school the next morning. Principal Davis listened to my story and said he'd investigate. 2 days later, he called back. "Coach Williams says your daughter was exaggerating the injury for attention. She stands by her decision." That's when I decided to get creative. I work in insurance, so I know how to document everything. I started building a case. First, I got copies of Emma's medical records. The surgeon wrote a detailed report about how running on the fracture had made it worse. Instead of a simple break, Emma now needed 2 metal plates. Then I found out Coach Williams had done this before. I talked to other parents and discovered 3 kids who'd been forced to play through injuries in the past 2 years. One boy ran a mile with a concussion. A girl did gymnastics with a dislocated shoulder, all because Coach Williams thought they were faking. I gathered all the evidence and sent it to the school board, but I also sent it somewhere else. The local news station. Channel 7 loves stories about coaches abusing kids. They interviewed Emma, still in her cast, explaining what happened. The story went viral. Within 24 hours, parents were calling for Coach Williams to be fired. The school board held an emergency meeting. By Friday, she was gone. But the karma didn't stop there. Coach Williams applied for jobs at other schools. Every time, the first thing that came up when they Googled her name was the news story about forcing a kid to run on a broken ankle. She couldn't get hired anywhere in education. She ended up working at a sporting goods store for minimum wage. 6 months later, I was at that same store buying Emma new running shoes for when her cast came off. Guess who was working the register? Coach Williams looked miserable. Dark circles under her eyes, cheap uniform, name tag that said trainee. When she saw me, her face went white. "I remember you," she whispered. "I bet you do," I said, loud enough for her manager to hear. "You're the coach who made my daughter run laps on a broken ankle." Her manager's head snapped up. "What?" I pulled out my phone and showed him the news article. "This is your employee? She permanently damaged my daughter's ankle because she thought a fracture was fake drama." The manager read the article, then looked at Coach Williams. "Is this true?" She tried to stammer an explanation, but the damage was done. She got fired that same day. Emma's ankle healed perfectly, and she's back on the track team with a new coach who actually cares about the kids' safety.